Well, thanks for coming along and tuning in once again. If you haven't seen the previous videos in this Bixler 2 series, I'd suggest you go back and have a look. There's some exciting events that took place in the last video where the old Bixler ended up in the top of a tree. Head back to the previous videos and take a look. Hopefully they are well worth your time having a look. But today we're going to have a look at the recovery of the Bixler number 2 that's now back here on my bench here, and we're going to see if it still works after having spent a couple of days up in a tree. Apologies for my eye, it's hay fever season here in Australia. I'm not crying for this thing. No, I'm not crying for this Bixler. It's just hay fever season. All right, let's take a look at what just happened. This is day 2. Bixler spent the night in the tree last night. The Bixie has come down. Here it is on the edge of the creek. However, one of the wings is still up there. But the problem is we've got moo cows right here today checking out the whole thing. This cow has fully come up to say hello. I'll walk up to him, see what he'll do. I think he's scared of me. Oh, they're so inquisitive. They've come fully up here to the car to say hello. Very cool. Well, if you've never had much to do with cows, you soon find out that they're very, very big creatures. And I tell you what, they were a little bit intimidating to say the least. I wasn't sure if it was safe to go into that field. But I'll set your mind at rest. I do have permission to go into that property. So it's all above board. There's no worries there.
Right now, Dad is trying to rescue his plane out of a tree. Mommy! Look at Letty's. We can get both of them in the same picture. One of them is running. You're always gonna fail. Yes, you got it! Still in a piece, still in one piece.
So on that first journey, I was able to recover the fuselage. As you can see, it was just upside down on the edge of the creek. I couldn't believe it. It doesn't look like it's been in the water. I hope they got no water inside all of the electronics here. And the other thing was that the wing, the one wing that I was able to recover, was the wing that had the Mobius on it. So I was just checking, and let's have a look at the footage that luckily did get recorded from the Mobius of the last few moments before the plane got stuck in the tree. So here's the onboard footage. I'm just going to show you a little bit here. The plane still was flying terrible. It banked hard right, and then it was nosing up and stalling a lot and banking all over the place. It was flying terribly. Here's the tree. The Bixler was up there. Didn't want to come down. Oh no. Now the funny thing was that I was able to recover the fuselage and one of the wings, and the other wing was nowhere to be seen. I had to look everywhere for it and I could not find the other wing. So I went to visit the farmer who owns the property. I left my phone number with him, and another couple of days later, you know what happened? I got a phone call with a message saying that he had found the wing. So here's a little bit more video about recovering the second wing. What do you have to say for yourself? What do you have to say for yourself? Doing this to me, putting me through all this stress. And what about you? Thinking you could stay out all night long. But it's good to see you back. Looking a little worse for wear. But it's good to see you back. Okay, now the moment of truth has arrived. And we're going to check what survived the crash. I know for starters this battery didn't survive the crash. It, as you can see, it's puffed out. It's gone all puffy because it discharged 100%, being left on in the plane for 2 days. So it's gone all puffy and it's now pretty much dead. So this battery is now useless. So in terms of physical damage, it's actually in very good condition. I do have the canopy. Just this tape on the nose was moved out. Here's some dirt from the when it was upside down near the creek. This wing has got a good sort of depression in it, and even got some bits of tree still left in there from when it was up in the tree. Otherwise, it's all really good. There was a little bit of a mark here on the tail. So look, I don't even have to glue this thing back together. It's gonna fly again just as it is now. But let's have a look and see if the electronics are still working. The moment of truth. Does the Bixler still work? Put a little battery in there. Let's see what happens. It looks like it's working. This aileron's working. Something I did notice when I got it out of the tree is that this control horn was off. Now, whether that happened before the crash or after, I don't know. Probably after. Yeah. So the Maytech is still working. I'm not sure about the ESC, but smoke didn't come out, so that's a good start. Let's turn it over to see the VTX. Yes, the VTX is still working. You beauty. Servos are working. Tail servo is working, and the rudder is also working. I think we've got away with it with no damage to the electronics at all. That is fantastic. So here's the view from the FPV view. Everything is working perfectly. Final test, the motor, arm switch, bring up the throttle. Well, apart from the battery, the Bixler's back. get ready for another test flight next time. Well, thanks very much for tuning in again, and looking forward to getting the Bixie up in the air once more to see if we can get the thing flying properly on all of its flight modes on iNav. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next installment